So in this video we're going to talk about saving and closing your project. So the project I've got on the screen has firstly a script here that is unsaved. I know it's unsaved two ways. There is a dot up here near the top rather than a cross, and also at the very top of the screen where it says Number Wizard CS there's a star. So the way to save the script is Command S or Control S on the PC, or File and Save. So go ahead and save your script. We're nearing the end of the section. At the end of each section, it's a great time to save everything. You might want to close Unity, close Mono, restart your machine or whatever. So you need to know how to close things down gracefully. So that's how you save your script and exit. By the way, if you try to exit Mono Developed and you have anything unsaved, of course it will warn you. All right, so now let's look at the Unity editor and take a look at a few things here. Firstly, it's a good time at the end of a section to tidy up. Generally, you want to be tidying up anything you created that you don't want. Well, we don't actually want this numberwizard.cs script at the moment because we've done nothing with it. So it's a good time to tidy that up. The way to delete a script is either right-click and delete, or edit and delete, or you can go Command and backspace on a PC. So get rid of your numberwizard.cs script. Another thing to mention at this stage is you may, when you started your project, have chosen 3D instead of 2D as the default. Really doesn't make a lot of difference, to be honest. The main difference you're going to notice if you did choose 3D is that this toggle here at the top of scene will not be pressed in, and you will have a 3D environment like this with the plane disappearing off into the distance and this gizmo up here looking kind of 3D, or you may be in 2D. Like that. So it doesn't really matter. You leave it in 3D for now. It's absolutely fine. We're not going to be using the scene anyway, so that's just fine. So the next thing I'd like to do is just to remind you how to move windows around. So this tab here, this console tab, let's move it back down to the project. So it's back to Unity defaults for now. So grab hold of console, move it back down next to project, and leave yourself on the project tab. That's fantastic. Now, I also want to show you briefly how to rename a scene. So again, when you're closing down and tidying up a project at the end of a section, you may want to rename scenes to make more sense. The way you do that is you right-click, or just click on the scene once and then again, and say the name of the new scene. So let's call it main for practice. Game, main, doesn't matter. Who knows what to call a scene when there's only one scene? But rename your scene to main just for practice for me, please. And then you'll see at the top of the window that it now says main.unity and number wizard, etc. So that's done. Now, you could just exit Unity. That would be fine, and it would ask you to save everything. I want to show you a couple of save options. Under the File menu, you can save the scene or Command S, and that will actually save this main.unity scene, which basically is everything in the hierarchy. So that's saved for you. You've also got a save project option. I don't use that very often. That will save all your assets and anything else that's changed. You can use it if you want, but again, when you exit Unity, it will automatically save your project for you. So now you are safe basically to exit Unity. In summary, you could have exited Mono and Unity without doing any of that, and it will ask you, like most programs do, whether you want to save your changes. But I prefer to save by volition, by thinking about it, rather than relying on that, because it's all too easy when you exit a program to say exit and then choose the wrong thing and say no, I didn't want to save, or yes, I did want to save. Either way, causing yourself a problem. So it's a good habit to save specifically when you want to, and then when you quit, you won't have any errors. You'll just be out. Okay, the final thing to say now is that you can now safely move your project folder, the entire folder that you created. If you put it where you didn't want it, well, I've got it in this folder here called Run Through and then Number Wizard. Because both Mono and Unity are closed, if they're not closed, for instance on a Mac, if your Mono has a little kind of glow below it, it's not closed, then just quit it to be sure. But if you have quit Mono and Unity completely, then you can be sure everything's saved, and then that is a good time to move your Number Wizard folder. So for instance, I've got Number Wizard inside Number Wizard here, bit of a mess. So let's just fix that. I just move the stuff in the Number Wizard folder up a level to here, or to here, and then delete my Number Wizard subfolder, and I've tidied things up. So that's absolutely safe to do once you've closed Unity and Mono. Now, if you want to reopen your project later, say you want to shut your machine down now, absolutely fine. If you want to carry on the course immediately, then the way to reopen your project, there's lots of ways. One is to go into Unity and open recent, but of course that won't work if you've moved the folder around. So the surefire way to reopen your project is to find the assets subfolder and then double click on the .unity file, any of the .unity scene files, so this main.unity. And when you do that, then you will be back into Unity, You can be in 2D or 3D, doesn't matter. You've got a camera, you've got a main scene, and you've got an inspector, and that's it. So you want to end up looking like this at the end of this section to make sure that you're ready for the next thing. So there you go. You know how to leave Unity and come back in with confidence. See you soon.